Let's talk about Nikocado, because that's why we're all here. Let's not fucking mince words. Now, there's a lot of history between me and Nick. Go ahead with the...
Okay,
yeah,
I was just giving them flavor. Okay.
I like the vibes. It's not a war, but I like that.
Oh, okay.
He was meant to come out and do our podcast. We had bought him a ticket. We put him up in a nice hotel. He said 5-star only, right? And we said in first class. Didn't we accommodate him?
He did want first class. I don't think he didn't request a 5-star hotel. We put him in a nice one just because we usually book nice hotels for our guests.
He requested from us a first class ticket.
On a first class.
And we said, you know what? You are a star and we will pay that.
And it was specifically because of his weight. Sitting in coach is very uncomfortable for him. So it felt like a fairly reasonable request given that context.
Okay. There you go. He's a 2-seater.
It wasn't a 2-seater, but the wider seat up in first class was appreciated.
Jay Fella, thank you for the gifted.
Jay Fella, that was one of the
one of the
Ryan Kavanaugh
songs.
diss tracks that
Jay Fella,
right? Or got very far.
Wasn't Jay Fella the father who was just making?
Is that the one
music?
everyone wanted to win?
I think so, right?
Jay Fella had a very strong support base.
He's back.
He didn't take the whole thing, but his was quite good.
Maybe we should have another freestyle.
That was really fun. I feel like we need a really strong enemy. Like Cav is just so ripe for destruction like that.
Well, when Triller dies, which is going to, we should do a rest in peace Triller.
That's not a bad idea.
Or, I mean, shit. Yeah, let's do it next year. Get ready.
We're fucking with Triller.
Yeah, so, and then it all kind of fell apart because I was doing a bunch of videos about him on the Ethan Klein channel. And I thought we were joking around. I thought we were lightfully ribbing each other because, let's face it, he doesn't take himself seriously at all. He walks around in a tiny shirt with his stomach out. He's playing this over-the-top character. He doesn't take himself seriously. I did take it too far. I said, like, for example, because, he's on OnlyFans, and you can see, like, really graphic shots of him that kind of just surprised me. And I did maybe say at one point that his asshole looked like a cow's vagina. I guess that part maybe was too far.
Rod and cowpoke.
I believe that was the straw that broke
I
the camel's
remember, yes, being at school and getting ready to come back to be here for the interview. And I was watching that video and I was just like, he's not coming. He's definitely not coming. And I accepted it.
I personally didn't really see that as an insult. It's really a compliment because that's the goal in his kind of content is to be gaping.
Right. I think
like that was his intention, Dan.
Yeah.
What? It's not like
to look like. I'm not even gonna say it.
A cow's vagina.
I think the crudeness that he associates with himself when we've learned that that's him and himself. And that's
him. It's his place to be self-deprecating. It's different when somebody else says
Yes.
Yeah.
Like someone else speaking about his body versus him talking about his body, I think.
Well, anyway, there was lots of exchanges of words between us, so I thought we were having friendly ribbing. And then all of a sudden, or I guess not all of a sudden, I accept my part in this, right? Like I missed kind of the whole point. I thought we were hyping up the podcast and it was going to turn into this great bonanza. But I guess he got offended, or maybe he just said he was offended. I don't know. I did take it too far. I said too much stuff about him, though. He did an interview today on Oompaville's channel.
Over the weekend.
And
this is the podcast that they created together.
Oompaville?
Yeah.
4 million subs. That's his main channel. They created a podcast together.
You just said yesterday it was.
Are you talking about the clip of him speaking? It's on their podcast.
Thank you, Lena. Wait, so where's their podcast? What channel is that?
It's in the write-up. It's called Dumpster Fire.
So apparently he started a podcast with...
for a little bit. Okay.
That has 39K subs currently.
Okay, I see. So, yeah, so they I guess shot one episode of this podcast and it fell apart already, which is exactly what happened to Frenemies. So you guys might actually very well have a hit on your hands here. Right? I mean, you got...
Well, it took a little longer than one episode to fall apart in our case.
No, the first or was it the second or the third? No, I remember the first one was contentious.
He takes that 5%.
Wasn't it?
It was a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like storm out, the show's over contentious, but
Well, anyway, Nikocado brought me up, and I thought this was long squashed beef, right? We had a really nice, pleasant conversation.
About it for a little bit.
At the end of it, where both of us were very nice and cordial, and just like, I'm sorry it didn't work out. Let's maybe try to make it work out. I'm sorry if I offended you, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But here he is using me as fodder to promote his podcast. Is that what I'm seeing? And of course, I always catch strays no matter what. It was on the subreddit with a lot of upvotes, and it's all the comments are like, Ethan fucked this up. He was so mean. He takes it too far. I'm like, damn, I already laid myself at the altar. Do we gotta fucking castrate me every time Nick brings it up? So here he is again. Let's listen.
Okay. There's a space.
Already
open
have
for it,
regrets.
right? There's a space. Already having regrets.
Literally.
You are a finicky bitch. I will be honest. You are a finicky bitch. Someone else wanted to do a podcast with you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I wasn't trying to make a podcast.
well,
He
that's what-
clarifies.
he clarifies.
Okay. By the way, he seems like a nice guy, this guy. He seems like a guy. I love him.
Seems like a guy.
Seems like a guy. He's a guy. I'm not saying any, I'm not even going to say a bad word about him, which is good for me. That's progress. He seems very nice.
Trust
Yeah.
me.
And
You're
funny.
not that guy.
He is that guy.
And I don't know why.
It wasn't. Wait, no. It was as a guest. It wasn't. It wasn't like start
Okay,
a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
freaking podcast show.
True. That would be crazy.
It was a guest.
Now, but you're telling me, again, you're telling me that this dude takes himself seriously? That's what I'm saying. Like, can you really blame me for reading the room wrong? This man is not, he's not taking himself seriously. He's wearing a shirt from like Kids Are Us. And he weighs like 350. But okay. We'll keep watching.
right. Guest spot.
And I honestly would have. Hi. I know you're watching.
Hi, nice to see you again.
How are you?
It's nice to see you again, Nick. I'm glad you're doing well. I don't hold any grudge. And actually, I would love to still do the podcast with you. I would love to have you in LA anytime.
I would
So
love.
stay in touch.
I honestly would have. Had you not talked behind my back, tell people what I said in text messages, say all these things that were supposed to be kept private before I even met you, and then attack my weight.
Stop it with the weight. Do I need to pull out again? This man attacked my weight. Imagine this. He goes, this man attacked my weight. How dare he mention it? Well, Dan, you had some thoughts about this.
Right. Guest spot.
Not about the weight part, but
I
all this
honestly
stuff
would
he's
have.
saying.
Hi. I know you're watching. I honestly would have. Had you not talked behind my back, tell people what I said in text messages, say all these things that were supposed to be kept private before I even met you, and
Yeah, so about that, I mean, there was no semblance of, I mean, we were talking, I don't know. I didn't think it was a problem, you know. Pull out Ethan? What does that mean? Why is everyone spamming pull out Ethan?
You used the phrase pull
yeah, you
out,
said should I pull out?
so they're running with it.
I said pull out?
Pull out. Yeah.
Why is that funny? Like the pull out?
I think you,
Like what-
you,
like
you meant
what-
to say pull up, I believe, because you're like, should I pull up?
Is that, are you guys talking about pull out like what Andrew Tate does to Aiden?
No, the other kind.
then attack my weight.
That's
Four
kind of
times.
implied though. The weight thing's implied
Thank you. He's a great guy, this guy.
though. Everyone does that.
It doesn't matter. I wasn't even there to defend myself, and he wanted me to drop everything for him. Stranger, number one. Cross country, number
Who are you
two.
talking about?
Can I say the name?
Say the name.
Ethan Klein.
From what podcast?
They're so funny. They know exactly what they're doing.
This is
And he
But
goes,
you know
from
what?
what? What's the name of the podcast?
What I appreciate is how they're self-aware about it.
yeah,
You know, seems fun. I like it.
Funny.
It's funny. It's funny.
working.
It is.
The podcast that is going down the tubes.
H3.
Less people are watching. Less people are watching, and they're all going to come over here.
Whoa. He knows our sound bites.
Yeah.
Oh, what a king.
Yeah.
You actually synced them up really good. Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The podcast is going down the tubes.
H3H3.
Less people are watching. Less people are watching, and they're all going to come over here.
Wow.
What I didn't like too is that it just felt
This guy's a foot
I felt like
soldier,
I was
man.
about to walk into a territory where I'd be ganged up on. It was too many people, too many all eyes on me.
Yeah.
And
Here's the real reason.
That's what I was going to say.
He was getting anxious, which I totally understand. It's a live show.
Totally fine.
He's coming to a
Understandable.
place with a bunch of strangers in a city he's not used to. A live show. Everyone was talking about this podcast, anticipating it. And so I understand the nerves, being anxious. I get that totally. And it's just overwhelming. You want to pull out. But he spun it like I was like, this is all my fault. The truth is, he just didn't want to do it anymore.
I suspect that may be the case. Also, the part that I said I took issue with, it was all the stuff about the things that he found offensive, about talking about him. He's totally entitled to feel offended by that. No issue with that. When he said, asking me to drop everything and fly across the country, we were flying him out. If I recall correctly, he was coming to LA anyways for something else, and he just extended his stay to come on the podcast. So he wasn't dropping anything to come on the show.
By the way,
It's like that's a little bit of a insincere framing, in my opinion.
we planned it around his schedule. I wasn't like you have to. But by the way, we bought him a non-refundable first class round trip ticket to LA for a trip he was already planning. So even though he canceled his appearance on this show, he sure fucking enjoyed those first class tickets to Los Angeles. Which we're not.
I don't actually know for a fact if he used them. I just know that we weren't able to cancel them, so we said, feel free to just use the tickets if you want. I don't know if he ever utilized the tickets or not.
Or was it like a cash redemption or just here's the tickets, they're yours?
It was just, here's the tickets. Because we didn't get the flight insurance, which in retrospect
You know he
was
took it. Why wouldn't he?
I guess he probably did. I just don't know that for a fact. So
I remember seeing
don't
him
know.
collabing with someone in LA around the time we were supposed to.
Right, and he probably did, but unless he took a different trip, I don't know.
So he turned out pretty good. He got his ass a free round trip first class flight. And how much, do you remember how much the tickets were?
It was expensive. It wasn't as crazy as you'd think. I remember being kind of shocked that it was like
$1,500 or something.
Yeah, it was like that, which isn't cheap by any means, but it wasn't
a lot
like
of money
insane.
for nothing.
In that case, yeah.
What, AB? Were you going to say something?
Somebody said,
Oh,
he
no,
did use them. I was on his flight from ATL to LAX, Delta first class. What the fuck? That's.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word.
I think that
believe you.
was the carrier, so I actually kind of believe that comment.
Dude, that's funny.
How weird that you happened to be on that flight. Okay.
But
Shout out.
I'm not mad at him, right? Even though, like,
it was all good.
It's money.
It was all good.
That's real money, but it's fine. I get it. It was a long shot anyway. I was shocked that we were able to, when he committed to coming here, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. He's actually coming here and gonna come on the show. So I knew it was tenuous. Personally, I think if I was a total sweetheart and nice, I am a total sweetheart. I'm a big teddy bear. And with my cow's vagina looking asshole. My asshole looks like a cow's vagina. I could say that.
Yes.
You can say it about yourself.
Statements.
Yeah.
I statements.
Yeah.
I've been hanging out with Hunger FF too much.
No, God.
You're learning.
Oh, God.
But if I never talked about him, I think he still would have canceled. That's my opinion. He was just nervous.
It's hard to say, but I think that, like you said, that last little tidbit that he throws in when he's giving his explanation struck the most authentic to me about being a little anxious.
But I'm still here,
It is an
baby.
intimidating environment. I've thought about that before, and with the setup that we have, we always set up the guest intentionally facing that direction because otherwise they would just see all of us sitting here in the control area, and it is a little to just like have a bunch of people hovering over.
Well, you should get a picture of what it
they
looks
would
like.
see.
Yeah, it's a lot. This control room that they're sitting in is pretty official, crazy looking.
Yeah, I'll do that.
But I get it. Like I said, I'm not mad. I get it. But yeah, ultimately he canceled and used the fucking first class tickets to have a nice holiday. DPI statements. Everybody So this, yeah, wow, okay. And so you can show just for the perspective. Yeah, okay, AB's looks like a cutout. So here I am. Hi. There's the crew. So it's a big setup. People, it's funny. Our old podcast, people would come in and say, "Oh, it's so much smaller than I expected." In the new office, people always go, "This is fucking crazy," which I actually much prefer as a reaction.
Bradley's still dreaming about it right now.
Well, maybe I should start a podcast with Bradley. And Steve will do it, and Kyle. We'll call it the Nelk Podcast.
Full send podcast.
Steve had some very nice things to say about you today on Brad's
No
podcast.
way. Sweetheart alert.
Sweetheart alert.
Such a tender-hearted soul.
I've always loved him.
Can you timestamp those? I'll finish out this Nikocado.
Yeah, I'll put it at the bottom of this section.
Oh, that's so special. We have such a nice relationship now. It's very sweet. I told you guys what he DM'd me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tender-hearted.
And he's engaged.
Oh, congrats to him.
Congrats.
Yeah, that's great news. I love love, you know. I'm huge into
nice.
I think marriage is great. I think it's special. And I'm very happy for him.
Steve, will I do it? Whatever. Just move on.
Steve will put a ring on it. I don't know. Steve will do it.
Steve, will I do?
You're like,
You want to
knew that
unpack
was a dud, as you were saying.
Do you want to unpack that?
Yeah. I
ahead.
think I just proved that I don't think before I speak. It just comes out. There's no filter. Just go with it.
The collapsing into your hands was
Yeah.
funny though, so you saved it with that.
Thank you.
All right, let's continue on with Nikocado. Interestingly, the pit of an avocado looks like his butthole, which is nicer. A
You
nicer.
said it like just a minute ago. I would love to still see this podcast happen.
But
Maybe
his name's not Nikocado. I had to
just
point
maybe
it out.
no more talk about.
But
his
that's
ass.
more flattering than the cow vagina analogy, right?
It's more flattering, but it's less flattering than not commenting on his asshole.
Period.
Right. But at the same time, I do think it's not that crazy because that's like Hunger FF coming out here and being like, I don't want to talk about my pro life. But that's what he does on OnlyFans. That's like dude. Anyway, whatever.
You go
Valid
cow
argument.
style.
I mean, I see
I'm
what you're saying.
improving. Avocado pit is a step up. So let's not baby steps, Dan. Don't expect too much of me. Can you do a DPI thing? The people are losing their mind.
I don't.
It's
you
your
know what?
fault.
No, I won't do the DPI thing.
Dan's putting his foot down on all you.
It's too much.
gonna
These
blue
people-
ball him
these
like that?
DPI fans, like it's funny, but we can't overdo it.
Just give him one.
800 DPI.
That was a smooth one. The 800, that's a perfect number. You could tell how calm and measured he was.
You know?
Nikocado, bro. It's in the name. I could have said it looks like a whole avocado, which would be worse because it's bigger. What's the perfect size for that? Like a grape? Maybe not even that, huh? Probably like a raisin?
What, an asshole?
Well, the one who's in the, I mean,
It's
not,
subjective. Yeah. What are you into? You into tighter, or gape?
he's got a nice little beehole that looks like a,
Just stop.
stop. I was trying to be nice.
You're trying to be nice.
Yeah, I was trying to be
Okay.
I was trying to be complimentary. Looks like a nerd, the size of a nerd candy.
And it's beautiful.
It's
A
very
little
tiny.
sour, a little sweet.
Yes.
That's Sour Patch.
First they're sour,
No,
then they're
nerds are
sweet.
sour.
Sweet gone.
The Sour Patch, the slogan is first they're sour, then they're sweet.
No, okay. I don't think they get ownership of that. Dan or someone, please tell Ethan that Joe Rogan is related to Jared. Oh yeah, we know that from Chemical Romance. They're cousins. Isn't that so weird?
We learned that lore from Trisha.
And yes, and by the way, they're not in communication. They're first cousins and they don't talk apparently.
Are they first cousins? I don't-
First cousins.
Okay. Huh?
How crazy is that? Talented family, I guess. But they're so different. Like My Chemical Romance. like emo, right?
They're in emo band, yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. Anyway,
That's
let's get
all
back
I'll
to
say
Nick.
about that because I don't.
Let's get back to Nick,
their
who's got a
fans.
beautiful little beehole that looks and tastes like a nerd. Candy.
It's Gerard, by the way, not Jared.
Distant cousins, I'm saying, not first.
Oh well.
Yeah, I
what-
didn't think that.
I remember there was a clip of Joe saying we're first cousins.
Don't.
Whatever.
It wouldn't be the first time Joe's been wrong.
You'd think he would know that.
What I didn't like too is that it just felt.
hold on.
I felt like I was about to walk into
I
a.
thought he was just holding really still. It's frozen for some reason. Wait 1 sec.
Oh, the screen froze?
Yeah, it was just
Oh.
on Nikocado. I thought he was going to say.
Gerard, sorry. Gerard.
Yeah.
Not Gerald. Not Jared. Gerard, Footlong. Footlong Gerard. Are we good?
We're good?
Okay, cool.
territory where I'd be ganged up on. It was too many people, too many all eyes on me.
Yeah.
And from the get-go, breaching confidentiality before I even get there.
There's no okay. There's no confidence. I mean,
I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go through this.
It was a big stink about a year ago. I remember seeing it. It was a big stink. He made a big deal about it.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
He made like
oh, and like Nick didn't.
He didn't make as big of a deal as you did.
Dude, he put a fucking video behind his.
He put up one video. How many videos did we make?
Huh?
How long did we stretch out the drama for content?
But for free.
I don't know. Yeah, it was for free.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Videos about it, and I made one.
I would never do that.
After the fact. Huh?
Yeah.
There's an IMDb page for the real reason Nikocado Avocado canceled the H3 podcast.
A what page?
There's an IMDb page for it.
Oh my God, really?
I don't
Well, does
know.
it say the truth? Because a lot of these websites lie. There's websites that say I'm 5'7".
It just says like
You're
top
tall. He's
cast.
tall. He's over 6 foot.
Yeah.
Or at least 6 foot.
There's websites that say I'm worth like millions of dollars.
You're not.
There's websites that say that
I'm sorry, but Nick has crazy ass comedic timing.
I love.
He's really funny.
I know.
No doubt.
I thought we were doing shtick.
Yeah, I think that it really did make me sad, honestly, watching this, because I think that you guys would be hilarious.
too.
It would have been
together.
a very funny interaction.
Yeah, I thought it'd be great.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Look, he's giving you guys the look.
So is this it, by the way, or is there more?
That's it.
That's it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And also, the IMDb page is just the name of the episode. That happens all the time. It's just like auto through Google.
So, Nick, if that is your real name, I'm here, still waiting. You're always welcome. And to the guy who made the podcast, love you. Fooper Trooper. Great guy. Funny guy. Terrific guy. Tender hearted. Just like Steve will do it. Let's talk about him.